Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. 2025, it's been quite the year. So rather than ponder on the depressing madness that surrounds us, let's focus on some of the good bits. Here's my personal best 10 movies of 2025, with a couple of honourable mentions who just missed out on a spot. Those three being Hamnet, Together, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. All three of them were really impressive, enjoyable movies that I'd highly recommend. But they just didn't quite make the cut, unfortunately. So let's begin with number 10.
I guess I'm next. I should never have come here.
Good Boy was always a bit of a shoo-in for the top 10 this year. I adore dogs. Okay, sue me. I'm a bit biased, alright? And I also love horror movies, and giving me a horror movie through the perspective of a dog is just genuinely genius. I thought this was a fantastic idea that was executed with some real thought behind it. The tension is good, you can't help but care about this beautiful furry main character. It manages to tell a narrative with barely any dialogue at all. This is a real challenge bottle movie, and yet I think they pulled it off quite fantastically.
We need to free each other's hearts.
Ari Aster, whether you love him or hate him, he is always going to split the room right down the middle with whatever project he puts out there. Well and truly putting his balls on the table and burning the house down around him as he does so. And this time with Eddington, he decided to make it all about that crazy time period in 2020 that we had when everything was shut down and we couldn't stand next to each other. Remember that? Feels like a bad nightmare now, doesn't it? But the brilliance of Eddington is how openly honest it is about everything. It doesn't hold back at all. It does put everybody and everyone's ridiculous self-important self-entitlement under the microscope and says how damn stupid we all are. And rightly so. This film needed to happen, considering that insane period of time that we all lived through. How manipulative it was, how hard it was to actually know what to believe and what not to believe. How many people were trying to profit out of this situation. It was a time where humanity should have come together and shown the real shining light that it is as a species, but instead it just showed all of the nasty, darkest pitfalls of us as a species. And I have nothing but the highest praise and respect to Ari Aster for exploring it quite so brilliantly in Eddington. One of, if not the most stunning film I saw this year, and it came out right back in January, I think it was, and nothing topped it visually. It really was quite something in the cinematography department. The colour schemes, the set design, the editing, it all comes together in such a critical and brutalist fashion that is so fitting of the main character in the film. That's something I really admired about The Brutalist, that it was actually taking the opportunity to make a brutalist film. It feels like art upon art, if you will. Guy Pearce absolutely crushed it, so did Adrian Brody. This really is a masterful piece of filmmaking that deserves all the credit that it got at the awards last season.
One day he's gonna follow you home.
Sinners was a wild ride at the cinema this year. It's definitely one of the most imaginative and original films that we had. Ryan Coogler stepping out the box to deliver something different once again, and doing so with a real kick down of the door, telling metaphors of black history and music, as well as the oppression of the Irish, how music can bring people and communities together and bring peace, and using that essentially to give a reimagining of From Dusk Till Dawn. And my god, is it good damn fun. There's one scene in particular from the movie that just stayed with me, and I know it stayed with so many others, and that's in one of the musical scenes where this sweeping camera shot rolls around going through all of the phases and decades of particularly black music. And the artistry, the choreography, the work that must have gone into that, it's just sensational. It's so clearly something that Ryan Coogler himself is passionate about. It's evident to see on the screen. I do think Sinners has helped to put Ryan Coogler straight back on the map as one of the most exciting young directors out there right now.
and the entire world will know my name.
This movie kind of got buried and brushed aside for quite understandable reasons because of the whole situation surrounding Jonathan Majors. But I did try to remove the art from the artist and just see the film for what it is. I had heard it was very good, and I'm glad I did get to see it because despite all of, the noise and mess around it, the film's actually very competently done. It's beautifully shot. Jonathan Majors gives quite a haunting performance. It's very good, but there is something quite unnerving about it all. But he does undeniably crush it here. It's a real interesting character design of these men who are absolutely obsessed with competing for how brilliant their body looks and their body image, and how bizarrely insecure that makes these people. Many would look at these men and say they are an Adonis. In their mind, their calves are too small, their traps are too weak. The scrutiny and mental pressure that they put upon themselves to please someone else's understanding of it is quite fascinating to explore. And I thought Magazine Dreams did a really good job at that, actually, and deserves a lot more praise than it's being given. I understand, obviously, why maybe some people didn't want to check this out, but if you can separate the art from the artist, do give it a try.
On my count. 1, 2, 3.
Warfare was a non-stop adrenaline junkie ride of tension and anxiety. I saw this as like the opposite of Black Hawk Down. When Black Hawk Down came out, it was undeniably an army drive movie. Warfare feels like the opposite of that. Warfare is telling you to not join the army. You will get shot, you will lose your limbs, you might die, your friends will die right in front of your face, you don't get the respect you deserve, you don't necessarily get paid what you deserve. You are expected to just get on with it. And that is actually asking so much from a human being to do. And I loved that Warfare chose to stay in this one isolated situation with these men, show their fears, show their concerns, show their self-doubt. And I just loved that Warfare was constantly trying to bang that drum, all whilst shocking you, scaring you, and keeping your heartbeat at 150 beats a minute with this insane, intense, non-stop action. Absolute roller coaster of a film. Loved it, can't recommend it enough.
We can bring her back.
The Philippou brothers well and truly put themselves on my radar a year or two ago when they brought out Talk to Me, a movie that I instantly loved and had such a great time with. I just thought the ending was a bit on the messy side. So I was very excited to see Bring Her Back. And it didn't disappoint. Sally Hawkins was amazing through this film. She was an excellent coup for those two to get her on board. The child actor as well was brilliant. There's one small scene in particular that really has scarred me and stayed with me, but that is how effective the movie is on many an occasion. It really does shock you, it really does freak you out at times, all whilst exploring the sad and depressing states that we go through with grief, offering more complexity, depth and reality to these characters. I thought it was brilliant, and it was easily my favourite horror movie of the year.
I need you, brother. Sensei, please.
Courage, Bob. Courage.
That's it. Courage. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. God damn it. Viva la revolution!
I bumped the score up on this movie after my second watch. I think my biggest complaint when I first watched it was that it was way too long. And it is long. It is a long movie. But add to the fact that I had 30 minutes of adverts to watch beforehand when I saw it in the cinema, then hell yeah, it's going to feel long. When I watched it in the comfort of my own home, I didn't have those issues the second time round. I was able to just relax and fall into the film, laugh at its funny jokes, thoroughly enjoy the really wacky and zany performances. Leo is surprisingly good at comedy. Sean Penn possibly gives my favourite performance of the year. The story feels both satirical and pointed at the same time, like it's trying to say something about real society but also mocking it and realising how stupid it is, which has led to some quite unexpected quotable lines from the movie. All hail Saint Nick. The car chase at the end of the movie already feels quite iconic. I can see that aging wonderfully as years go by. It might be the wildest roller coaster ride I had in a cinema this year, and it has to be on the podium. No Other Choice crept in right at the death and shot right up to the top of my ranking. Park Chan-wook, dude, this guy, he is no joke. It's funny, it's original, it's shot fantastically, the performances are out of this world, there's some really complicated characters that these actors have to navigate and they do it brilliantly. I thought the sound design was great, it's paced wonderfully. I struggled to find anything negative to say about this film. I am so hyped by it. I loved it. I've been telling other people about it, saying if you can put up with a foreign film watching subtitles, if you can find it, you have to check it out. You simply have to. I love the idea behind it. I think it's explored so well. It is easily one of my favourite films of this year, and it probably would be getting the gold medal if it wasn't for this one other film. My number one movie of 2025, getting the gold medal.
I know who you are. I know what you are.
I know you too, Teddy.
It's fine. It's cool.
Begonia was the needed shake-up that I personally needed from cinema when it came out. I think I had been on a string of like 4 remakes and 2 crap sequels all in a row. I was losing hope and faith in cinema of 2025 that this is all we're getting, just churned out factory slop. And then came the King, Yorgos, with this absolute beauty of a film that offers phenomenal performances from Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, a really interesting and captivating off-the-rails narrative that you can't help but be on the edge of your seat with, all whilst making quite a pointed discussion about society that I think is quite deep and honest at times. I was just so damn pumped and hyped and re-energized by this film. That really is the word, re-energized. There was good cinema again. It does exist. You can watch a good film in the cinema. It doesn't have to be the fucking Running Man or Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and trust the king, Lanthimos, to deliver it. Cannot wait to pick this up on 4K or Blu-ray the second I can. I was jumping at the bit to show it to Mrs. IMO, and she equally loved it just as much as I did. It is the film that has left me gushing the most, the one that I instantly fell in love with and just knew that this was my film for 2025. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the comment section as well. What do you think of my ranking? What's your ranking? Please do let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this crazy ginger, you can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care. I look forward to seeing you on the next review.